It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the official titles and episode lengths for the first 3 episodes of the series. There's a lot of interesting callbacks that we're going to break down in this video. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about the early screeners for the first 3 episodes and some interesting stuff that people who had early screeners had to say about the episode. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. The titles of the first 3 episodes are actually Years, Gone, and By. So the premiere is called Years, the second episode is called Gone, and the third episode is called By. Now, this is obviously them paying homage or a callback to the first episode of The Walking Dead's original show. If you remember, The Walking Dead's series premiere 101 was called Days Gone By. And of course, it was because there was only days gone by after the fall. But in this case, it's years gone by because we're visiting Rick again, years after the last time we saw him. So these are definitely deliberate title choices, and they are a way to call back to the series premiere of the main show. Now, whether this indicates that there are more callbacks or Easter eggs in the episode itself remains to be seen. I'm assuming we are going to see a lot of those types of Easter eggs and callbacks, but we don't know for sure. But if the titles are anything to go by, then we're most likely gonna see some level of Easter egg or callback throughout the season. Now, although I do like the idea of them having the titles call back to the original, I absolutely despise the fact that they broke it down into 3 episodes. And what I mean by that is they should have just called The Ones Who Live's series premiere Years Gone By instead of the first episode Years, the second Gone, and the third By. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at it individually, kind of a weak title for each title that you look at. Now, of course, the first episode Years, I could get by that. I mean, that could indicate that they're talking about years after we saw Rick. So that's good. That makes sense. Years gone by would have been better, like I said. It would have been more fitting, and it would have been things coming full circle in a way, but years would have been fine. The second episode, Gone, I don't know how that can be a good title. I mean, the only thing that comes to my mind is maybe in this episode they do flashbacks and show when Rick was gone, when he first disappeared. Maybe something like that. But then the third episode, By, what does that really indicate? How is that a good title? So when it comes to the titles, I'm definitely glad that they chose the full circle route and they wanted these titles to call back to the first episode of the main show. But I don't like the fact that they split it up like this. Now, let's talk a little bit about the early screeners. So, the early screeners for the first 3 episodes have been released. Now, 2 important things that came out of those early screener comments. One said, there is no way to prepare for this. This is The Walking Dead on a scale we've never seen before. That is definitely super interesting. I mean, that indicates that they're doing something different, that it's not like what they did with Dead City or with the Daryl Dixon spinoff. I mean, the early screeners for those had different vibes. You know what I mean? Like the reviews that came out did say that the budget was higher, that it was a different type of show and all of that, but they never talked about the scale being the biggest we've ever seen. So that indicates to me that we might truly be about to witness some amazing Walking Dead content that we haven't really seen in quite a long time. The next thing that comes up is the events of season 2 of The Walking Dead World Beyond will be relevant and that you may need a refresher. So, that to me indicates that there's going to be a lot of different elements from the second season that are pulled in into the plot lines that we're going to see for The Ones Who Live. Whether that be the scientific research side of things from the CRM or the Jadis side of things from the CRM, or the Omaha and Portland colonies being attacked side of things from that plot line. But obviously, there's a lot they could do with pulling elements from the second season of World Beyond. I just hope that they pull out things that are actually interesting and exciting, and they don't really pull things that fans don't really care about. You know what I mean? Also, of course, the first season of World Beyond sucked. The second season was slightly better, but it still sucked. So I hope that they're still taking things from the second season that didn't suck and bringing them into the plot lines of the ones who live. I don't want to see the same things. I want to see them utilize elements from that, things that they set up in the second season of World Beyond. Now, the last thing that remains that we need to talk about is the runtime and the directors of the first three episodes. The first episode is directed by Bert and Birdie. I don't know them. I think they directed a few episodes of The Walking Dead as well, but that's directed by them. The runtime is 55 minutes. Now, there was an initial news that it's going to be 90 minutes long. That appears to be false at this point. I mean, with commercials, 55 is probably around 65, 70 minutes, but we're probably not going to see 90 minutes. So that was probably false, but it's 55 minutes without commercials. That's all that matters. The second episode, Gone, is directed by Bird and Birdie as well. Runtime is 53 minutes. So both are around 50 minutes. That's the vibe I'm getting. And the third episode, Bye, is directed by Michael Slovis. I don't know them. It's the first time I'm hearing their name. And the runtime for the third episode is 48 minutes. Again, around 50 minutes. The only thing I'm surprised at when it comes to the director is the fact that Greg Nicotero, one of the best Walking Dead directors, isn't involved in those three episodes. That's the only thing that, one, surprises me, and two, kind of scares me. Of course, he could be involved, they just didn't mention his name, but that would also be super weird if they did that. But the next thing we're going to talk about is this picture posted by Leslie Ann Brandt, who's going to be playing Pearl Thorne in The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. She's going to be a CRM soldier with Rick. They're going to have similar roles. And of course, we see she's in some sort of vehicle that appears to be like a military vehicle, and there are some walkers inside the vehicle with her. But she did tease that she's going to be releasing more photos on her Instagram tomorrow, teasing more stuff from the show. So I'll take a look at that. And if there's anything to talk about, I'll definitely do another video for that. And of course, you can go follow her on Instagram to see that yourself as well. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.